my channel. My name is Darcy, if you guys don't know me yet. I'm going to be showing you guys my van renovation tour today. I bought this van back in October. I started renovating it in January, and ever since I've been putting blood, sweat, and tears into the building of this van, and it's finally done, and I'm super excited to show you guys. I hope you're just as excited to watch. Let's hop in. So as soon as you walk into the van, you come to my kind of catch-all area, but first we're going to talk about the kitchen. So this is my little kitchen cabinet. I can pull this countertop up, and this just extends my counter space. So I have all this space to work over here, and then I put a little board inside of my sink that I can take in and out just to have a little bit more space for like cooking or whatever I plan on doing. So another really cool thing that I love about this countertop is it actually was an old church pew from a church that my dad grew up going to. So he had this just sitting around waiting to do something interesting with it, and he was like, hey, I know you need a countertop, let's use this. And it's interesting because like I think they call it a butcher board countertop. I wanted a butcher board countertop, and it just so happened to be a butcher board church pew. So if you actually look along the bottom here, you can see the curve, how the seat goes underneath. So it was really challenging to turn this into a countertop, but I absolutely love it. And the other cool thing about it is that once this is up, I guess this still needs to be done, but once this is up, the passenger seat right here will eventually have a swivel on it. So then I'll be able to swivel my seat around and then use this as a desk to work at or as a place to eat. So that's just something that I love about the van. I think that it was very intentionally designed, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. And I think the wood looks awesome. I restored the whole thing. So lots of work, but very rewarding, I think. So then once you pop back over here, then I just need to take out my butcher board and I can start to use my sink. All right, so once my board is out of the sink, I have a sink that can extend out. So if I need to wash anything outside of the van, I can do that. If I want to shower, if I need to wash off my feet or anything like that, it's super nice because I can just swivel and use that. My cold doesn't actually work, it's just one temperature. And then I have really good water pressure because I have a water pump, an electric water pump. I'm gonna save my water today, so I'm not gonna show you, but I have really good water flow versus using something like a foot pump where it's just kind of like spotty coming out. So I'm really happy about that. But my last thing that I have to say about my water system is that my clean water is underneath my bed, so I can access that from the back, which you guys will see in a little bit here. And then my gray water, I have a gray water tank beneath, but I also have a hose that goes outside of the van depending on where I'm at and like if it's clean water. Like if I'm just like rinsing off my hands or something like that, then I'll feel comfortable bringing it outside of the van, but that can be a little interesting legally, depending on where you're at and like if you're using soap and stuff like that, from my understanding. But that's where my gray water and stuff is at, and then all of my water will just be used for like washing dishes, drinking water. So I have a Brita water filter that I'm just gonna fill up the water that I get from like Walmart or something that I'm gonna put into these tanks, fill it up into my Brita water filter, and then I'll drink that water. So that's what I'm gonna be doing for clean water. And then the last thing is just like washing dishes and stuff like that. But as we move along here, we'll go along my electrical system, which runs underneath the bed and feeds all the way over here to this side. And my electrical system is in the bottom of my closet, which is what you see here. I have two sliding doors. So once I open up this door, I have a couple different shelves, and then at the bottom, this is my electrical system. So one really important thing for me during this build was keeping things as simple as I possibly could, which is kind of hard when you're doing such a big project like this. But I did keep it simple by buying this device, which is just a portable generator. It's the EcoFlow Delta, and I can charge it up using my alternator while I'm driving. I can plug it into the wall, and then I can also use my solar panels. Actually, I don't have solar panels yet, but it's expandable, so it can charge with solar panels. And I know exactly how I'd set everything up if I wanted to add solar panels, but with my intentions with the van right now, it's not completely necessary. So that's how it charges up. And then I have a bunch of different stuff running on it. This runs DC and then AC. So on the DC circuit, I have my water pump running on this side. And then once I have it turned on, then I can use my fan, which is up here at the top. So I have a couple different levels that I can turn this up and down to depending on the weather outside. So it can suck air in, it can blow air out, and this is the max air fan. So the top covers over so that way I can use it during like rainstorms or anything like that. So I love this thing, it's awesome. It's cooled me down during my build because this is one of the first things that I installed into the van initially. So I can bump it up and it goes very, very strong. I love it. So we're gonna turn that off for now. And then as we're looking up here, you'll see that I have really beautiful oak ceiling. I have many different favorite things about the van, but this is one of like my top favorite things because it just took so much work to do, and I just love the way it looks. All right, so we're gonna come back down to the electrical system, and another thing that I'm running on it is my lights. So the lights are another one of my favorite things about my van. It lights up the whole entire closet so the party doesn't end even when I'm like, you know, grabbing things out of the closet. But I love it because it pops up on the front of the closet. I have the lights coming here underneath the bed on each side, and then this leads us into the back part of the van. So this is my bed right here. I absolutely love my bedspread and my pillows, and it matches perfectly with my wallpaper. So this is like my third favorite thing about the van. My first one I think would be the countertop, the oak ceiling, and then my wallpaper. So the wallpaper starts off with like a really dark burnt orange, which is what this bedspread is, and then it lifts all the way up to a light color, and then it matches with my upper cabinets here at the top. I have 3 different ones back here, and then I have one at the front that you guys will be able to see in a moment here once we turn this around. But I love having these upper cabinets. I feel like I have so much space in here, but I know once I start to fill my van up with all of my different things for my travels, I hope that I stay under the opinion that I have a lot of space. So I'm definitely gonna have to practice minimalism. One other thing that makes me really happy is that if you look back here on my bed, I have a poncho that my dad got me when I was little, and it just went so well with everything, and I was like, I have to put this in here. And whenever I go camping, I love using this poncho, so it was like, it just worked out really well. So I'm very, very happy about that. So I have 2 more things that I absolutely love about my bed. So first thing is that it's perfect to my body. This is a twin bed that fits perfectly in between these 2 windows, and it's the perfect distance for me. So I can lay down head to foot and I don't have to worry about like not having enough space. It's just perfectly designed for me. And even like when I stand up, I only have like half an inch above my head. So it's like this van is just custom for me perfectly, and I'm just so in love with it. So that's one thing about my bed. And then the second thing is once I lay down in my bed, I can look up and look at my world map and just fantasize about all the different places that I'll be traveling to in the future. This is just such a beautiful addition. Maybe like, what is this, number 4 of my favorite things about my van. It's just, I love it. And it's on this beautiful oak bottom. So this is like my visualization board kind of. But that's all for the bed. Now we can move out to the trunk and I'll show you guys some more of the stuff I have back there. So once we come to the back, you can see that I have my beautiful curtains that match with the front on the sides here, and then my bed, and then beneath my bed is where I have all of my storage. So once we come over to the left, you can see in the back here, that's where I have my water system like I was mentioning before. And something that I forgot to tell you guys was the rest of my plumbing situation. So I do not have a toilet in here, and I do not have a shower. Like I said, I can move my faucet to use as a shower if I wanted to, but I'm more thinking along the lines of using a solar shower, just hanging that. I actually haven't decided where I'm gonna hang it yet, but you guys may or may not know this depending on if you know me or not, but I used to be in the Army and I took plenty of solar showers, so I feel pretty comfortable taking those, and it'll probably be easier than using the faucet, to be honest with you. But that's what I'm gonna do for showers. No toilet, just campgrounds or gas stations and stuff like that is where I plan on relieving myself. I do not have a refrigerator. It just seemed like it was gonna be a lot of work to run something like that on my electrical system. And plus, my intention for the vehicle was to just take weekend trips, not really long van life living in my van. Although I'm not opposed to that. I would love to take like a big long couple month trip, but that's not the intention as of right now. So I'm going to be using this cooler in the meantime, just a regular cooler, and it'll get the job done. Like I said, keeping things as simple as I can somewhat. Okay, so speaking of food, another important thing is how am I going to prepare my food? I don't have a stove in the front, so I have on my electrical system some outlets coming all the way to the back. One of these will actually be by the bed to charge my phone, but I have an electric skillet that I can plug in back here, and then I'm just gonna maybe set up a table or just cook literally right here, and that's how I'm planning on preparing all of my food. So on the other side of my trunk, I have the window covers for my windows just at night, where whenever I pull over, I'll probably end up just using them every single time that I park overnight, so that way people don't see that it's a camper van and then want to just like steal something or break into my van. So very simple, they're not fancy, they're not cute, they get the job done. So then the last few things that I have in here are a canopy that I can just set up if I'm at a campground and I want to have a separate space outside of my van, and it has a bug screen on it so that way no bugs can get in. And then I have a camping chair, and then my last thing that I'm super excited to tell you guys about is my cot. So when I designed my van for that first 3 months before I even started building, I designed it so that way my closet was far enough on the side, and then my kitchen was far enough on this side, and my bed was far enough back that have a space for a cot to fit right in the middle of everything, and it shoots all the way up to the front 2 seats. And I have a place for whoever decides to come with me, or if anyone wants to fly out, I have a place for my passenger. And then one of the last things that I am going to have in my trunk that I don't have in here right now is my electric scooter. So I'm gonna have that in here so that way whenever I go to a different location, I'll be able to zip around and ride around a little bit more quickly than just walking. So I can't wait to put that in here, and it's actually a kind of a new toy of mine. I just got that within like the past month, so it's like still really new to me, and I'm just excited about it. One of the last things I want to talk about for my van are my curtains. So they're really beautiful. I think that they look great, but I hemmed them and sewed them and put some magnets in here so that way when I take down the little knots, they can connect together depending on how many bugs are in the location that I'm at. It'll serve as a bug screen as well. All right, so that's pretty much it for my van tour. I showed you guys all of the insides. It's required so much work, so many long days. Like I said at the beginning, blood, sweat, and tears. Literally, I busted my head open. I've cried a few times and lots of sweat. So this didn't happen overnight. I did receive a little bit of help from family members that I would like to thank, because they definitely lended me a helping hand. My mom did a lot of painting, and my dad provided a lot of different advice throughout the entire process because he's a carpenter, which is why I recorded my entire van renovation. So if you're a solo female and you don't have the dad around to help you build your van, you can always pop over to my channel and I literally walk you through how I built everything in this van. So if you guys have any questions, definitely message me, check it out. But much love and appreciation to everyone who lended me their time and hands to help me build this beautiful creation. And one of the last things that I want to say is that I have worked so hard on this van for the past 7 months, but it really went a lot further back than that. My birthday is actually August 25th. So it's August 1st right now. So I'm finishing this on the start of my birthday month, which I'm super, super excited about. But this entire van process started so long ago. Like I remember being in high school and pinning different things on Pinterest about van life and stuff like that. And then I had a very interesting past couple years where I just felt like the world and expectations were coming down on me. And I felt really confused and like I didn't know what to do with my life, and I kept changing my mind every other day, and I was just super indecisive and like worried about the future. And last year on my birthday, August 25th, I made the decision for myself that, you know what, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And so from that day, I decided to enroll in a yoga teaching certification, which I received my yoga teaching certification on the very first day of the year, and I was able to start teaching yoga while I was renovating my van. And then I bought my van before I finished my yoga teaching certification, and I started building it then. And it's just been such a challenging time, but like I've never experienced so much happiness, even just pursuing something that I've wanted to do. Like, I haven't even started traveling yet, and this past year of my life has been one of the most fulfilling times I've ever experienced. So it just feels good to be in this place where I feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be finally. And I think it's hard sometimes to make that decision for ourselves because we have all these expectations of people telling you who you want to be and how you should act and what you should do with your life. And no matter what you do, everybody has an opinion and a judgment. So it's just like, once you let all of that off your chest, you're just making room for yourself. And it feels really good to do that. And I really can't wait to see what kind of adventures I get to take and where it brings me. So if you guys want to pop over to my channel afterwards, I'm going to be posting lots of videos about my travels in my van, yoga videos, guided meditations, and just good stuff. So thank you all for watching. My birthday wish for myself is to have a good time, but my birthday wish for you is to just start making decisions that'll make you happy. So I hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.